Stroud Higgins. Thank you for listening to the Indiana University Alumni Association podcast series, Career Minded, featuring IU alumni from around the world with sage wisdom to help you navigate your life and career. The power of the IU Alumni Network is extraordinary, and our goal is to provide you with connections, resources, and inspiration so you can thrive. And today I am delighted to welcome my very special alumna guest, Amyra Asamoah. Amyra, welcome so much. It's good to hear you.
Thanks for having me, Caroline.
Oh, I'm really thrilled to dive into a conversation with you. And I want to tell our listening audience, they're literally all over the globe, all about you. Amyra Asamoah graduated from IU in 2015 with her BA in Economics and Communication and Culture. And for the past 2 years, she has worked in DC as a research analyst at the International Monetary Fund. In her after work hours, Amyra recently launched an online career guidance startup, a woman after my own heart. Thank you for that. And it's a search engine called Career Combo, and it allows users to find professions that combine their many passions. Her own long-term career interests lie in the intersection of technology and international development work. So you are a busy woman doing so many incredible things, but I'd love to hear from you, my dear. Tell me your nutshell career story and how what you studied at IU got you started and really is continuing on your path of your career trajectory.
Sure, absolutely. And thank you again for having me. So I actually just graduated from IU 2 years ago in 2015. But while I was there, I double majored in economics and communication and culture, as you said. But it took a while for me to get there, actually. So I changed my major, I think, about 5 times during undergrad. Came in as psychology, studied informatics, did criminal justice. I just had a lot of different interests. And it was really exciting at IU that I could at least explore those interests very freely and switch about my majors. So it wasn't until my sophomore year, actually, that I realized I wanted to get into international affairs work. And at that time, I think the new School of Global International Studies was still developing. So I decided instead to take the opportunity and do a little more quantitative work and study economics. And it was the greatest decision. From that degree choice, I was able to, during my undergrad, during my junior year actually, get an internship in DC, doing some international affairs work at first. And from that internship, from getting exposed to the world of DC and foreign policy, I was then set up to be able to apply for my job later at the IMF and start actually getting engaged with more global development work, really on a big scale. So yeah, it's just been a journey of kind of following my passions as I changed them throughout undergrad and eventually just getting to the point now where I'm actually doing work that involves my major and also my interest in international affairs.
Good for you. Good for you. I'd love to tap your wisdom because we've got so many alums listening from around the globe who are interested in international affairs, and they're probably saying, tell me more about the International Monetary Fund. So tell us about that. How does one forge a career in that sector?
Sure. So again, it's not a set. There's no set path, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, to getting into international affairs. It's different from med school or law school, where you know the next step to get where you want to go. Kind of with global affairs, it's just really about following your specific interests. So for me, knowing that I wanted to do something with my economics degree, there were a limited amount of companies right out of undergrad that I could see myself working in that would give me that economics and international affairs experience. And I had studied about the IMF, International Monetary Fund. I'd studied about them a lot in my major, and I knew that the IMF was an organization that was doing work that I would definitely be interested in getting engaged in. So I really just ended up looking online and seeing that they had an opening and going ahead and applying for it. So I think it's as simple as that sometimes in terms of just figuring out your interest, finding the companies that are actually doing work in that field, and then just going for it and applying and pivoting when you have to pivot. But yeah, just as long as you're sticking to your interest, I think there's always a door open in international affairs.
Well, as a career coach, I love the word pivot because it's not always a linear path, right?
Right.
But the link is what interests you. And I think your passions have been diverse and led you down the path of wonderful opportunity. So cheers to you. But you're also an extraordinary entrepreneur. So tell us about Career Combo, how it came about and how the alumni community can help it grow.
Yeah, so Career Combo actually came about a bit from my changing majors in undergrad. I've always had a lot of different interests, and specifically now knowing that I want to work in international affairs, but I'm also really passionate about entrepreneurship and tech. And I always struggled throughout undergrad and even till about a year ago, struggled to really think about what kind of career I could have that bridges them all together. And I remember about a year ago, I was sitting at home, just feeling frustrated about my career and Googling careers that combine international affairs and tech, and coming up with nothing really valuable. So I thought, it'd be wonderful if there was a website where people could go and select their different interests and find careers that combine them. So I decided to go ahead and build it, and we just launched actually about a month and a half ago. So it's very exciting.
Is it interesting to be the full-time careerist who also has the sideline hustle, as we call it in the entrepreneurial world, the side hustle? Yes. As an entrepreneur? It's all consuming, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's exciting and engaging, but it's having another life and trying to scale something up at the same time. So it can take a lot of energy, and you have to be ready for it. But I think it pays off in the end, and there's no other replacement for that experience of starting your own business, really.
I would agree. And what are your plans for Career Combo? How do you envision it being the most useful in the long run?
Yes. So my plan for Career Combo is that hopefully would become a staple at least in career offices and academic offices, especially at the undergraduate level, where you have a lot of students interested in double majoring and triple majoring. So for a career guidance counselor to be able to have that when a student comes in and says, hey, I'm interested in studying economics and communications, what could I do? For those two to work together on Career Combo to kind of pull up a short list of jobs that bring them together. So I see that as the direction that's taking. I realized very quickly I didn't answer the second part of your last question. So the goal right now for Career Combo is to kind of grow the database by having real professionals share the different fields their jobs involve. So I think what I'm really, and what my team and I are seeking right now from alumni is for people to be able to sign up and share, hey, this is my job, this is what I do, and it involves fields X, Y, Z. So if people are willing to check out Career Combo and share with us and help the site grow, I think that's the best way to make it as useful as possible for students and young adults.
Well, we are here as your alumni family to help you. So perhaps you can even give us how you want us to connect with Career Combo, whether it's the website or an email. How shall our listeners reach out to you, Amyra?
Absolutely. So I think the best bet is just to check us out right now at www.careercombo.com. No funny spelling, that's it. And on that site, you'll find the contact page. The email is just query@careercombo.com. But you can also check us out on Twitter, the same handle, Career Combo, and Facebook as well. I think those are the best routes to definitely get in touch and get engaged with the new project.
Awesome. Good action step for those that are listening. We'll be right back with more Career Minded. You're listening to IUAA's Career Minded, and I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. I want to pick your entrepreneurial brain because as a fellow entrepreneur, I know that there's a lot of trial and error and, in all candidness, failure, right? And taking risks. That's just the life of an entrepreneur. So how do you approach failure and taking career risks?
The way I see it lately is that if I have the time and the resources to try something new or to try something risky, then I take it. It's not always possible. Sometimes time is short. Sometimes the finances aren't available. But I know that if I'm just scared to do something and I'm able to do it, then I should probably just try to do it anyways. And I think that's how I got started with Career Combo. I had that availability to work on something new, and I knew it was something I wanted to do. And I thought, if all else fails, I'm not putting everything on the line just yet. And I think easing into risks is probably the best way to do it. From that point on, once you're in the project and once you're in the middle of it, it actually becomes much easier to start taking other risks, and to start thinking more about the strategy you want to take with your career. So I think it's just about getting started with, the smaller risks, and then building up to, really changing your career or path in the direction that you want.
Good for you. Good for you. So let's talk a little bit about IU, since it is an IU alumni audience listening. How has IU empowered you in your career? Because I know you're now looking at graduate programs, MBA programs all over the country, and you have a soft spot in your heart for IU. What has IU done to help you in life and career?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I can't deny it, is just the community that IU has. And I know everyone talks about it, but it really is very, very unique. I've met a lot of people who aren't as engaged with their undergrad, or just, there's not that sense of willingness to help one another out. But I think even now to this day, being a couple years out as an alum, I can still reach out to anybody, whether a friend or a faculty member, a professor, or just about anyone that I knew on campus, even if only for a short time, and ask them for advice or ask them to help me in my next career step. So I think the empowerment more than anything is the fact that IU has the best human resources and human, network of supporters that anybody could really ask for.
And I love that you're utilizing us. I think that's so important. It's easy to say, yes, networking is great, relationship building is great, but you're walking the talk. So well done,
Right.
you.
Right.
So I'd love to get your advice. You're 2 years out now. You're a fully fledged entrepreneur, full-time woman in the career world. What's a bit of advice for those who are just starting on their career path? Graduation season is around the corner for the class of 2017. What would you share with them?
The biggest piece of advice I would say is, if you're someone like me and you don't necessarily know what your next step could be or would be, don't get too caught up in a particular company or career title that you might think is, the only one you want to go for. I think the biggest thing to stay focused on instead is your field of interest. So if you know what you're passionate about, or you're figuring it out, whether it's international affairs or law or communications, as long as you pursue opportunities that continue to build up your experience in that field, then the career and the company and the title and all of that will form instead around what it is that you want to do, instead of the other way around. I think that's the best advice I'd have to give.
Excellent. Good wisdom. So there's no doubt that you are a busy, productive, and efficient woman, but kind of a fun question. Let's say you unexpectedly find 15 minutes in your day. What do you do with it? What do you do with that found time?
What do I do with that found time? I think in my spare time, I honestly just try to get time to relax a bit, and do things that I enjoy. I think it's important not to overwhelm yourself. I know when you try to be an entrepreneur or something along those lines, it feels like every minute of your day has to be devoted to being 100% productive. But I'm not going to lie, I watch a bit of Netflix.
That's okay.
And just try to actually take a break more than anything. I think turning your brain off is healthy.
Good for you. I couldn't agree more. I think it's great. So, Amyra, tell us what's next for you.
So, as you mentioned, right now I am in the process of interviewing and applying for grad school. I would love to start in the fall at an MBA and Master's in Public Policy program, and just continue to explore my interests at the combination of tech and global development, so to kind of begin working on my career path with a new graduate degree. So we'll see. Within the next month, I'll know kind of what my next step is.
Well, we are cheering you on all the way. What a delight to have you on the podcast. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. And again, just remind us how we can keep in touch after the show. And I hope our paths cross again soon.
Absolutely. So again, you can check out my website at careercombo.com. But on a personal note, you can also follow me on Twitter at the handle is Amyra Live. The name is Amyra. And I think that's, those are the best ways to get in touch. I'd love to hear from any of you who are listening.
Amyra, thank you so much. And good luck on the graduate school pursuit. Let us know what happens. We're definitely supporting you all the way.
Great. Thank you, Caroline.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Career Minded, produced by the Indiana University Alumni Association Career and Professional Development Team. The podcast is available on the IUAA iTunes channel and also on YouTube. And we hope you will share the shows you like via social media. Our goal is to empower you throughout your professional life, because at IUAA, we've got your back. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thanks for listening. We hope you'll join us next time for a wonderful new episode of IUAA's Career Minded.